How we doing today, guys? Sorry I've not posted for a while. Have a lot of real life stuff going on right now. I do apologize for that. So we're going to cover a lot of things in this video. It's actually going to probably be a really long video, but that's okay because we're going to cover all of this. I'm actually off. This is the first day I've had off in about a month. I gotta take care of something real quick. I'm gonna pause the video and I'll be right back. Alright, guys, I'm back. Alright, trying to figure out where I left off. I think I did Chapter 9 in Heretic already. So, we are going to start with the Garnet event. Unfortunately, the Garnet event is actually almost over. If you have not done it yet, obviously the character you get is Garnet from the Final Fantasy IX. She has two moves: Aquamarine Water Glint and Periodot Thunder Flash. She actually reminds me of Papalimo. The difference really between her and Papalimo is Papalimo has a lot higher brave hit before his two HP attacks, where hers, it doesn't do as much damage, but because of that, her default brave attack actually gets switched to Deluge and Super Bolt. And both of those are actually really, really good. Deluge, it's a group water elemental attack, and Super Bolt is a group thunder attack. Another small difference is Papalimo's fire and ice, where Garnet is water and thunder. So there's two more elements covered that you could do. I'm actually, this is just me speculating, but obviously there's a lot of characters still not in the game, and I would say that in time, see, we've got I just need to pull something up. Alright, we have fire and ice covered by Papalimo. Thunder and water is now covered by Garnet. What I'm saying covered by is a brave attack followed by an HP attack all in the same move. Now the closest thing to Earth, I think the only one who has Earth move right now is Yostala. I don't think anybody else has an Earth type move. I may be wrong there. Heck, with 60 characters, it's hard to keep track of every single body's move and tributes and whatnot. As far as wind, we do have Shinato for wind and dark. However, they're not followed by HP attacks. They're just brave attacks. And for light, I think the closest thing we have is Eco. But again, Smite is just a brave attack, not a brave / HP attack. So I would assume in the future that we will get two more mages. One will be Earth and Wind, and the other will be Light and Dark. Now, that's just my speculation. And also, that's just what I'm really hoping for. That way we can cover all 8 elements with each type of mage. And, of course, each type of mage has their own usefulness. Anyways, back to covering all the new stuff. I'm only going to cover Garnet's weapon. Actually, I'm going to cover Cloud's too, because that one's new. I think this is Cloud's like 5th 5-star weapon. He got the Buster Sword from NT. Then I think there's another type of Buster Sword, but not as powerful, and I don't know if both of those count as the same sword or not. Let's see, what else did he get? He got the Organics. He also got that red sword. I have it, but I can't think of the name of it. Now he's got the Rune Blade as well. So Cloud has a lot of weapons at his disposal. I'm sure if you maxed all of them out level 35 and was able to equip all the CP bonuses that you get from it, that Cloud would actually be very, very, very useful. Paralyze and debuffs and the increase of his abilities. So, anyways, moving on. Healing Rod. This is for Period Thunder Flash. Increases brave damage, increased duration of Thunderstar from 2 to 4 turns, and inflicts thunder resist down on target for 4 turns, and grants max brave up 1 to self for 4 turns. The Rune Blade. This is actually really, really useful. Gives an additional use to Finishing Touch. Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize for that. My sister had to come talk to me real quick. Alright. Finishing Touch. Okay. Gives additional use to that. I think that's actually the first weapon that actually gives you an additional use to a skill. So hopefully we can start seeing more of those that actually give more uses instead of just augments the ability. But it also increases brave damage and grants max brave up 1, physical attack up 1, and critical hit rate up 1 to self for 5 turns. Now if you also have the Buster Sword from NT, and I think that's the only one. If you have both of those CPs, they both give an additional, or not additional, but increases the brave damage dealt for Finishing Touch. So if you have both of those, I'm sure Finishing Touch would do a lot of damage. Of course, it's not an HP attack, so it is a lot of brave damage, and if you use it properly, you can actually set up your party very, very well. And the last one I'm going to cover is the Stardust Rod. The Aquamarine Water Glint. It increases brave damage, increased duration of Water Dragon from 2 to 4 turns, inflicts water resist down on target for 4 turns, and grants brave regen to party for 4 turns. So with that one, she can be a little bit of support right there with the brave regen for the entire party. That's going to cover the weapons for that one. Alright. Let's see, moving on. Alright, game update on the 1st. Wasn't really much issues. It was just text being displayed incorrectly. This is a Japanese game, and they converted it over to English for us. Well, English-speaking people. So, of course, things are always miscommunicated and lost in translation and whatnot. So, they did give us 100 gems just because they messed up the text. So, but wasn't a big issue. It didn't affect the gameplay. Just words wasn't what it was supposed to be. But hey, it was a free 100 gems, so I'm not going to complain on free gems. The known issues... I'm not going to go through all these. I will show them. You can stop the video anytime or pause it if you want to read these. I do know that they're still having a lot of issues with Android players, and that really sucks because I am an Android player. I haven't heard any issues from any iPhone player. I haven't seen them post any issues for the iPhone players, or Apple players, whatever you want to call them. But, I mean, to me, it's not affected the game whatsoever. There's no change of flow. There's no, oh, well, you're not an iPhone user, so you can't get this character or this item. It's just mostly simple little vanity stuff that doesn't mean much, so I'm okay with that. I can't really complain. Square Enix always does a great job. Looking at character adjustments for Saz, his aim increased from 5 to 7, and his attack boost increased from 3 to 4. We will cover more of Saz later, and his super ability-ness that he was able to get. This is our first ever, I want to say event without a character. With this, there is a lot of stuff to cover. I mean, a lot of stuff. So, bear with me on this one. As you can see, it's called the Summer Co-op Beat Back Challenge 1 Trial of Nemesis. In it, obviously, you'll be fighting Sephiroth and, what is his name? I can't remember his name right now. Kuja. Sorry, I had a brain fart right there. Now, honestly, most of this stuff you can ignore. The fight does not last that long. Most fights are usually over in about 20 turns. And I say 20 turns, but also that includes the turns not counted by using summonings. So it's usually over, I would say, around 35, maybe 40 turns. If they actually counted summon turns into the actual turn ratio. Now, you do not have to get all of these points. These are a collective total of points between everybody that plays this game. So, even if you don't play, your best friend who plays it grinds this out, and he gets 5 million points, or 500 million points by himself, you also get the rewards as well, not just him. You do not have to grind out this many points, because there is actually a lot of points, and that'd be very, very, very tedious. However, actually while I'm recording this video, we've already got all of the points covered. We had that completely done in one day, which congratulations to anybody who plays this game and working so hard and getting all these points. So if you do log on, I do believe you have to at least do one trial just to say, hey, I played it, and then you'll unlock all of this stuff, which you get 100 gems, 1 armor token, 50,000 gil, another armor token, another 100 gems, another armor token, 50,000 more gil, and 2 armor tokens. So that's a total of 200 gems, 5 armor tokens, and 100,000 gil. Now, each time that you clear a fight, you'll be awarded with these tokens. It's a new item. Think of it as like power stones, or armor tokens, or Dissida points, however you want to. They're all the same thing. They're just a currency used to buy stuff. Now, with the tokens, you can buy all of this stuff. Now, there's a limit to most of this, except for the last 4 items. You can buy 1 power stone, 1,000 Dissida points, 10 stamina potions, 195 power orbs and guard orbs, and of course the crystals, clusters, and stones, or shards, sorry, are all limited. Also with the Idioga artifacts. Now, not all of the artifacts are listed. I'm not really sure how they determined which ones to do it in, but The ones available is for Setzer, Yuffie, Squall, Steiner, Yuna, Waka, Saz, Lightning, Ystala, and Rim. Here is the tokens. As you can see, there's two different ones. You got silver and gold. They look kind of cool. They got Moogle's face on them, of course. The most expensive item is actually the Power Stone. It takes 300 gold to get. Which, I mean, 300, it's not that bad. That's, I would say, maybe around 10 fights. So, not that big of a deal. It'd be a lot less if all three of you used one of the characters, and I'll explain that here in a minute, too. About each token, there are two types, which I've already covered, silver and gold. Each event has its own set of event tokens and token exchange. Now, this is just the first event where you're fighting Kuja and Sephiroth, and there's silver and gold tokens with Moogle's face on them. This is a 4-part series that they're releasing this in. I do believe this one is over August 12th, and the new one will be out August 13th. And then that one's over like August 27th, and then the new one starts August 28th. Somewhere it has the dates, and I'll go over those with you. So you really need to grind for this because the event will not stay that long. And if you're wanting to get all the items, which I believe I have all of them except for the guard orbs, and I will go over that later too. Now, to obtain more rare event tokens, there's a few things that you can do. You can increase your chance of earning more rare event tokens by clearing co-op quests with more players. Basically, like, you can go hit group, hit guest, or host and whatnot, and go in by yourself, but you're only going to get one set. Now, if you play with other people, it's all cumulative. Now, usually with events, if you look at, like, the bottom, when you clear an event, it has, well, this item only goes to that person, this item only goes to this person, and then you get your item, so on and so forth. That is not the case with this one. Yes, it still has a number at the bottom, but everybody gets every item shown no matter what. So, if you're playing with two other people, grinding this out, you're going to get a lot more than if you just try to do this by yourself. Now, beating this by yourself is actually not hard whatsoever. I actually did one just to see how hard it was. This fight is really, really easy. And if you use a boosted character, which there are 3, and I'll go over those in just one second. That's the next category. You also get more tokens. The 3 boosted characters in this event is Saz, Squall, and Yuna. As, of course, since this event revolves around them 3, they have a draw to go with them 3 as well, and I'll cover that in just a second. As you know, boosted characters have enhanced stats, and of course they're double XP. So if you don't have your 3 characters to level 50 yet, you can grind it out real quick. Now this is the whole summer festival campaign. This is all 4 of them. That was just part 1 of 4. With this, until September 3rd, which is next month, so you have plenty of time, and it's not that many points, you can get the Let's Chill sticker and the Boom sticker for 100 DP each. I've already got both mine. Like I said, it's not hard to get, and especially with the event going on, you can buy 1,000 Dissida points, so there's no reason not to get those 2. Here is the dates for the campaign bonuses, and of course there's login bonuses as well. August 6th to August 13th, 13th to the 20th, 20th to the 27th, and 27th to the 3rd. There's 28 days for login events. You have to log in every single day to be able to get this, because it's only going to be there for a week. So if you miss one day, then you won't get the 3 jaw tickets. You miss 2 days, you won't get the potions. 3 days, the guard orbs, so on and so forth. Oh, and there is all of the login bonuses that you do get. There's a new World of Illusions as well. There's a helicopter flying over me. And there's an ambulance in the background. Somebody's dying. Anyways, moving on. Sorry, that was a little dark. World of Illusions Carbuncle's Treasure. Even though it's Carbuncle, you don't actually get anything for Carbuncle Summon. Why they chose to call it Carbuncle, I'm not really sure. But there is no actual like boss fights. They're really simple, easy fights. Just basically trash mobs. You got the orb side and you got the crystal side. Of course, right now I'm staying on the crystal side just because I have a few more characters I'm trying to get actually maxed out at crystal 50, level 50. Well, actually, I have all my characters level 50. Anyways, you can get any of these items right here. The Escape Anima, Tempest Anima, Gale Core, Gale Adamite, Vicious Liquid, Monster Horn, Sticky Liquid, and Monster Claw. You are guaranteed at least one of those 8 items. The more SP that you spend in the quest, the more items you get from the quest. Basically meaning, do the higher end quest. Don't try to grind out the lower ones because you might only get 1 item, where the higher ones can give you, I think, up to 4 items. The co-op first meet gems was reset. I don't know if anybody remembers this from when the game first released. Every time you did a co-op, you would get 200 gems if you actually met a new person. Now, if you friended each other, became friends, or one of you just following the other, that doesn't matter. All you have to do is play with a new person. For each person that you meet who's new to you, you get 200 gems up to 20 times for a total of 4,000 free gems. Now, I don't know why they did 4,000. I think they should have upped it to 25 times. That way we can get 5,000 gems, since that's a multi-draw right there. That to me would make more sense, but it is what it is. And for those of you who do spend your money on this game, there is some more discounts. Honestly, my favorite would be the seasonal item chest, because you actually get 5 free armor tokens with that purchase, so that's really good. And I apologize for the dog in the background. She's barking at something. Alright, moving on to the campaign draw. It's for the Summer Festival Part 1. Saz got a new weapon in this, the Spigot Defenders. And Saz is a complete badass now. He really is. And I will go over what makes him such a badass in here in a minute. There's nothing really new for Yuna. She's had that astral rod. Sorry, got tongue-tied there. Since she's been part of the game. Of course, there's like a thunder rod or something that she has, but they didn't throw that one in here. If you missed your chance last time, like I did, to get the cutting trigger, you can get that now. And I finally got mine. I've already limit broke it to level 35. However, I don't have it to level 35 yet. I've already burned through all my power orbs and everything. I think I'm level 26, 27, around there. So, I am definitely working on it. Since I do have that now, Squall will now be my number 1 go-to instead of Titus, which I am actually really happy about, because, as I've said many times, Squall is my favorite character. Since the cutting trigger is not new, I'm going to go ahead and skip that one. The Spigot Defenders is what I really want to get into. As you see, there's a lot of stuff with these, and the Spigot Defenders, oh my god. If you like Saz, if you really want to make them useful, Spigot Defenders are the item to have for him. They are freaking amazing. It's probably one of the best 35 weapons that I have seen so far in this game, because it gives you so much and allows you to do so many things with it. Alright, first off, I know earlier I was talking about Cloud's weapon giving additional use. Well, this is the second one to give an additional use. This gives an additional use to his attack boost. Now, the attack boost itself, by itself, is not really that potent. But if you have the Spigot Defenders, it becomes amazing for your party. It gives you one additional use. After using it, usually most of the time, he gets to go again. There's been a few times, I think, where really high speed type characters only interrupt him from going, and that's usually like Squall after Runezikian, or Lightning if she does one of her moves against somebody who's already broke. But other than that, most of the time he usually gets to go again. Increased effective duration of attack up 2 from 2 turns to 6 turns. Increased effective critical hit up rate 2 to 5, and duration from 2 to 6 turns. Critical hit rate up 5. I'm not sure exactly what percentage rate that is, but 5 is max. He's, I think, the first person to actually get a buff that is completely maxed out on giving something to someone. Don't quote me on that. Like I said, I can't remember everybody's abilities and what they do and all that fun stuff. Anyways, whoever you use it on, they get 6 turns of max brave up 2, and then after you use it, you also get a buff of 6 turns max brave up 2, attack up 2, critical hit rate up 5, speed up 2, and changes HP attack to HP plus attack for 6 turns. Now that is a lot of buffs going out. So whoever you use this on, you and the other person will both get max brave up 2, attack up 2, critical hit up rate 5, and of course if you're playing Saz, you get the speed up 2. Whoever you use it on does not get speed up. That's just your personal buff, that's it. Now the HP attack plus, it's a ranged brave attack and HP attack with high turn rate, and it's freaking amazing. You've seen all these characters. We'll use Papalimo for example. Actually, we'll use Squall. His Runezikian buff does a certain number of hits, depending on, of course, how much brave you have stored up. And then unleashes an HP attack. But that also requires the use of Runezikian, which has a limited number of uses. The HP attack plus is kind of like Papalimo's Astral Fire Umbral Ice. It's a single brave hit followed by an HP attack. Which most people I see, they usually hit for about 3k on the brave. And of course, however much brave you have stored up, that much HP. Combine that with aim, which never misses, no matter what. With the Spigot Defenders, I've seen people hit for 7k brave, and with the max brave up to a fully decked out Saz, I've seen carry around 12,000 brave. So hit somebody with a attack boost with Spigot Defenders, and then use aim on an enemy. You're already sitting about 9k. Use HP attack. You're going to hit them for about 3k and deal out 12k damage. So it's actually really, really useful. Saz is really a badass now. I wish I got these for my Saz. I've ran out of gems. But I was happy getting Cutting Trigger because Squall's my favorite. But Spigot Defenders for Saz really makes him useful. I think this is finally the first time he's been useful since he's been released. And of course, your HP attack never runs out. So as long as you got your attack boost ability on, you can HP plus attack the entire freaking time, and it never runs out. And I think you get, if you have Specca Defenders, plus default, plus all your crystals, I think you get like a total of 7 uses of attack boost. So 7 attack boosts. And if you draw it out to the very last turn, so 7 times 6 equals 42. That's 42 turns potentially where you can just HP attack plus and be able to use him. Now, that's not the most efficient way, I know, but when you think about it, that's a lot of numbers that could add up. Twin Lance, Altair, and Astral Rod, those have been in for a while. I have the Altair. When I was doing my draws, I actually was able to max out my Altair. But moving on to the next one. Updating the Android 9.0 Pie. I'm not sure what the Pie means. May cause certain devices to have compatibility issues with the game. Please take note before updating to Android 9.0. We are currently testing compatibility issues with devices, but please note that it will take time to resolve any issues that may arise. Further information regarding the above will be provided to players via subsequent notices. Please ensure that your game data is backed up before updating to Android 9.0. And it, of course, shows you how to go about doing all that. I will say, if I lose all my data, I will not be returning. I'll try to recover it, but if I can't, then that I'm done, because I'm not about to restart over everything that I've done and not have all the characters that I already have, and so on and so forth. As you can see down here, the armor token button got changed. It has a little Mog's face with the little hexagon and a star looking thing. And it brings up 2 of them. You got the token exchange for Trial of Nemesis and the armor token exchange. The ATE, you guys already know what that is. It's the same thing. It's just they're lumping it all together. Trial of Nemesis, mine will not look like yours, obviously. Just for a simple fact, I've already bought stuff. Once you completely run out of stock, like if you look at the higher guard orb right here, as you see it says stock 50. Once you buy all 50 of them, which that's 150 guard orbs, it completely disappears. That way it doesn't let you buy it anymore. I've already bought everything else. Actually, what I've been focusing on is just getting all my crystals from other people. And all the numbers are the same. For all of the silver points, you spend 20. For all the gold points or gold tokens, you spend 2. For shards, you get 20 each. For clusters, you get 10 each. Shards 20, crystals 10, clusters 5. And then here is all the Idiogas that you can get. And they each cost either 50 or 5, depending on which token you use. So here is my beautiful Squall now. As you can see, there's my cutting trigger. It's level 26. I thought I got a little bit higher, but I didn't. But yeah, I am working on getting it to 35. I ran out of power orbs. Moving on. That's all for the update of what's been going on. Now, my personal update, I did complete Chapter 9, Utopia Nevaeus, which was actually really easy. Probably one of the easiest chapters I've been through so far. I think the hardest part was fighting like 2 Marlboros at the same time. That was really fun. World of Illusions. If you haven't done the new chapter yet, you do have 1 day left, so you can get those 9 characters if you need them. If you're already done, so on and so forth. I'm going to go into Carbuncle's Treasure. Ooh, I got hiccups. Now, here's what it looks like. It's not too complicated. Really simple. You've got 6 stages. To the right, you've got the orb spring, and to the left, you've got the crystal spring. Now, as you see, first of all, they're all 3 waves. There is no boss fights. It's really, really simple. I'm going to go ahead and do one real quick. Just to show you what you're in store for if you haven't done it yet. It's been out for a few days so far, so most of you should know what you're looking at. Oh, it's so beautiful. As you see, it's really, really easy. Nobody's even touched me once. And that's the end right there. That's all there is to it. Really simple. Now, if you remember from earlier, see, I got the Gale core that time, but I got 4 of them. So, if I was to do, say, part 1, which, I mean, does cost 3 times less stamina points. That one costs 10, where the top one costs 30. I could farm more quests, but I would get less items per quest. So, I mean, either way that I've seen, it kind of works out almost as far as what you get. You only get 1 item from part 1 for 10, where you can... Part 3 will give you up to 4 for 30. So doing the 30 will give you 1 additional item per quest than what the 10 does. So over time, it is more beneficiary to do the 30 than it is the 10. But y'all's call on what you want to do. It's not that big of a difference. But I say it's not that big of a difference, but if you get multiple items, there was one time I actually had 3 sets of, what are they called? Oh, wrong one. Tempest Animals. I had 3 sets of Tempest Animals drop, so that was 12. Now, if I would have done the part 10 quest, that would have only been 3. Now, if you take SP in consideration, if you times the 3 by 3 times as much SP, 3 times 3 equals 9. I still got 12 over the 9. So, it's still more beneficiary to do the 30, but I ain't gonna argue with people who want to play their own way. I've actually met a lot of people now who have their Chocobo and Sylph both up to level 20. Well, I shouldn't say that they're both up to level 20, but just because usually I only see one of their summons. Well, there's that one. This one is basically just the same. The only difference is the enemies. This one has a dogs, a ghost, and a bomb. Of course, as you've seen, this one had armor, armorins, flans, and skeletons. I'll grind that later. As you know, I don't do grinds on here. Trying to think of what else. Oh, there's the Princess of Alexandria quest. I'm actually not going to do that one. We'll cover heretics real quick. just because there's only a day left on it. I did manage to get the 3 top ones done. I've been having issues with the bottom one as it is a little bit harder. For my first one, the power, I used my Edgar, Titus, and Ramza. For the magic, I used Shinato, Terra, and Eco. And for the ranged, I used Sarah, Terra, and Edgar. I learned Edgar is actually really versatile. He's both melee, he's ranged, and he's got some good defense and potential. Edgar'd probably be one of the better ones if you fully upgrade him, in my opinion. Sarah's pretty decent too. When I attempted this one, I actually died. Where was it? Oh yeah, I died to Heretic Berserker Armor. Just because he's freaking difficult. This is my most hated enemy. I really hate the Berserker Armor enemies. Anybody else, I can deal with. I can deal with the Booster Machine and his freaking Wave Cannon mode. I can deal with the Lich and his Life Cuts and Death Cutter. Heck, I can even deal with Chimera and all 3 of his heads. But I hate Berserker Armors. The only reason I hate Berserker Armors is because physical and range really don't do nothing against him. Where all of the other bosses, yeah, they have their weakness, but they don't have any resistances. So, take Lich, for example. He's, I think, resistant to range. But that doesn't mean a magic caster can't go actually and do some work on him too. It's just range would obviously be better. Berserker Armor, if you're not a mage, you're not doing nothing to him. And that really sucks. You almost have to use 2 mages against him. And I just haven't found the perfect 2 mages for it yet. But if I had to be honest, I don't think I'm going to get it done just because there's only one more day left. Moving on to Trial of the Nemesis. As you see, this is the only one. There is no other quest. It's just one quest. That's it. I'll go in as a guest. Well, is anybody doing this quest? Alright, I'll just host. I'm fine with that. I do have to end this video shortly because my battery is almost dead. I say almost, but it's at 19%, so. Usually this fills up really fast. At least it was last night. Alright, I'm not going to fight with him on it. For this quest, there is only one wave. Bring Sylph or Chocobo. Both of them work amazingly. 3 squalls fully decked out with the cutting trigger is actually really amazing. Now, I'm going to show you something that most people don't fully get yet. As you can see, Sephiroth is targeting me. Now, normally I would be against this. But what I'm going to do is actually something really actually useful. I'm actually going to use Renuzikian against him and leave myself at 0 HP. That's because his opening move is Heartless Angel. He takes all of your CP, even if you're at 0, and reduces it to 1. That being said, do not try to stack up Brave on his first initial hit. Now, the following hits after it, you want to stack up CP. His next hit is going to be Fervent Blow. And as you see, that did a lot of Brave, or at least it was a lot of hits. I wouldn't say a lot of Brave. And Sephiroth's already dead before we even get the first summon out. Not sure why he didn't read Ziki in there, but alright. But that's okay, because he's going to die here anyways. Really simple quest. Like I said, doesn't take that many turns. And here's what I was talking about earlier. Alright, if you look. Alright, starting at the top, you've got the 10, which normally would go to everybody. And if you look to the right, there's a bluish green 1. Now, normally that would only go to me with other events. Now, with this event, all of these items that you see will go to everybody. They're not just character specific. Now, the reason these are glowing and the first one's not is because we use boosted characters. If you use a boosted character, you get more items. The co-op rewards, those also go to everybody as well. And those are there based on how many people are playing. The first one is just always there for, hey, you completed it, here's an item. And then the other 6 are because all of us used a boosted character. So, in total, I would have gotten, 3, 4, 5, 11, 17. I should have 20 gold tokens. Yep, 20 gold ones and 120 silver. On average, I'd say that's actually kind of low. Normally I get about 25 to 30. But, I mean, 20 is not bad. It's still a lot better if someone used a character that's not boosted, like Lightning, or I've seen some people use Orin and a few others, but 20 is the low end, I would say, on all three being boosted characters, and 120, that's actually right on point. But that is actually going to be it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and comment down below. Make sure you also subscribe. Do please tell your friends about me and have them subscribe as well. If there's something you like to see or something done, if you're stuck somewhere, let me know. I'll do my best to help you out. The last thing I'm going to cover is just how far my party's gotten so far. I actually got a lot of characters up to level 50-50 because of this event, and with the double reward cycle quest going on. So I don't have many left to do. I know a few that I was able to finish. I got my Ace up there, Ash is up there now, Lion, Orin. Oh, there's my phone telling me it's getting ready to die. All the rest I think I had up there already. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 characters left to get up there, and all of them are at least crystal 30 or above. Right now I am working on Thancred, Galif, Cyan, Edgar, Catter. Oh, and I don't have any darks. I finished all my dark crystals, so I've only got those 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Those are the 5 I'm working on now. I don't know if I talked about this yet or not. With each chapter, they release a new summon. The new summon that came out with Chapter 9 was Pandemonium. It's just a wind-based god. Basically treat it just like you would Ramu or Ifrit, Shiva. Just a wind version. His blessing that he gives you was raises your HP and brave damage and chain attacks by 5%. So if you actually combine Pandemonium with Cloud or Cecil or Lyle, that would actually be really, really good. But other than that, I don't see him being much useful. Once you do summon him, it does have an increase for knockback, but there it is. That's going to be the end of the video. You guys have a great night or morning, day, whatever. I'm actually going to go farm World of Illusions till I'm out of SP, and then I'm going to work on the event some more to get some more shards, crystals, and clusters. But yeah, now that I've got my Squall also with his cutting trigger, I might be able to actually finish my lost chapters, at least the last 4 quests that I'm missing. If not, I'll find something else to work on. But make sure you do get these quests done. They're only going to be here for a week, or maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, they're here for 2 weeks. So I was assuming 12 days. Actually, I'm not sure how they're going to do it. I know most definitely when Trial of Nemesis does expire, they are going to release a new one. If I had to guess, they're not going to do a character event for a little while. They're probably going to release part 2 in 7 days when Princess of Alexandria disappears, and then part 3 when Child of Nemesis disappears, and then part 4 whenever part 2 disappears. That is my guess because they usually only keep 2. But that's just my speculation. But anyways, I will see you on our next Final Fantasy adventure, and you guys have a good one.